Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Burn. For the beginning area in here, there will be several rocks falling across the area where you are running. You'll want to time your run in between these areas so that you're not hit by these rocks. The Kukulkan adds will poison the tank that will be constantly damaging them. It can be cleansed by a healer. They will also do large line AoEs that just need to be sidestepped. The Desert Desmond units will have large cone AoEs that you'll just want to move out of, along with circular AoEs around themselves that you'll need to sidestep to avoid. As the fight progresses, even more Desert Desmond will begin to drop down into the fight. You'll want to make sure to pick these up, as they'll immediately start heading for your healer. For the first boss, when he casts Crystal Needle, this will just be a tank buster ability that you'll want to use a tank cooldown for, and healer will increase the amount of healing they're doing to heal through it. When he casts Hailfire, he will do a line AoE at one particular party member. This party member will want to position themselves away from the crystals so that the AoE does not hit any of the crystals, which will cause them to explode. When he casts Starfall, you'll want to position yourself behind the crystals to not take damage from this ability, and then move away from the crystals as they explode. After this, he will cast Dissonance, which you will need to move under him to avoid this AoE. New crystals will then fall from the sky. When he jumps to one side of the platform, he will then target the party member with the Hellfire again. So you'll want to move away from the crystals to avoid activating them with this ability. Shard Strike will put an AoE on all party members that, again, you'll want to make sure that you're not next to the crystals to avoid hitting them and causing them to explode early. When you cast Shard Fall, again you'll position yourself behind the crystals to avoid getting hit by this ability, and then moving under him to avoid getting hit by Dissonance. For the adds in the second area, the Charred Drone will do a very long line AoE you'll just want to move out of. The Dreadnought has a frontal cone ability that you'll want to sidestep. He also has a large circular AoE that you can easily move out of to avoid. For the next area, the Charred Koblins have no abilities you need to watch out for, but due to the number of them can do considerable damage. The Charred Doblin can't do an explosion, which is a large AoE around himself though. You can stun the Doblin to interrupt this ability, otherwise you wouldn't want to move out of it. For the second boss, you'll want to avoid the fire AoEs on the left and right side of the platform. A Therochemical Flame would be a party-wide damaging ability that would just need to be healed through. When he targets a single party member with one of the crosshairs, he will leave a AoE behind that you'll just need to avoid standing in. When he summons the adds on the side of the platform and begins to channel the charge attack across the platform, you'll just want to stand in the line of the one that is malfunctioning. A Therochemical Coil will be a large tank buster ability that will just need to be healed through. When he summons the blades on the outside of the arena, you will just want to position yourself out from in front of them as they will charge across the arena. For the adds in the final area, the Giga Worms will have a large circular AoE around them that you'll just want to avoid standing in. The Stalker has a frontal cone AoE that you can easily sidestep. The Giga Worm also has a frontal cone that can be easily avoided. Occasionally, the Stalker will also throw out a small circular AoE on a random party member. Should just move out of these. The final boss does have quite a few mechanics, so we'll try to go over them as the fight progresses. When the boss casts Rime Wreath, this will be a party-wide damaging ability that will just need to be healed through. Fog Plume will cause a star-shaped AoE that will have an initial explosion followed by line AoEs in each of the direction of the arrows. So you want to position yourself so that you will not get hit by these after the explosion. If you do get hit by this AoE, then it will freeze you in place, causing you to take increased damage. He will then follow it up with another Rime Wreath and then Vaporize. Vaporize will cause him to disappear, and move to the center of the platform and begin casting an AoE that will grow in size. You will need to kill the dragon heads before this AoE finishes casting, otherwise it will be unavoidable. If you are hit by this ability, it will also freeze you in place. Whenever you are frozen, a party member will just need to hit you one time to draw you out of it. When he targets a party member with an AoE on top of your head, he will then spit an AoE in your direction and then leave behind a damaging AoE where you were standing. So you'll want to make sure you're positioning yourself away from the rest of the party. The next fog plume will have 2 sets of AoEs. So you'll want to try to position yourself where you're not getting hit by either of the star explosions afterwards. Whichever party member does not get hit will want to start running around hitting everyone to pop them out. When he casts Deep Fog, he will then go invisible and move to a side of the platform. You'll want to run around the platform until you can find where he is at so that you can avoid his AoE afterwards. He will do this twice, followed by a proximity-based AoE when he lands on the platform. For the rest of the fight, he will constantly cast Rime Wreath, doing considerable amount of damage to the party based on how many vulnerability up debuffs you have. So you should group up and start spamming AoE heals and any sort of damage reduction abilities that you have while burning down the boss. And this should be it for the burn. I hope this helps everyone out. If it does, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.